Something big is brewing in the Ottawa Senators system as their top ranked prospect will be battling for a full time roster spot that could completely change how this defensive system looks. Hello, everyone. I am Eoghan Drumm, and welcome to Senators Digest, where we talk all things Ottawa Senators. Today, we'll be getting into the possibility of the top ranked prospect for the Senators making the opening night roster and how this could look for the Senators moving forward. So let's get right into it. Who exactly am I talking about? Well, that would be Carter Yakemchuk. When Ice Metrics tweeted this just a couple days ago, this got people talking about young players that can make the NHL lineup for the Ottawa Senators this upcoming season. And there you have Carter Yakemchuk highlighted. He is a defenseman. He's been with the system for 2 full seasons now. Last year was his first full year in the system, playing for the Belleville Senators. He was the 7th overall draft pick in the 2024 draft. That was the draft that took place in the Sphere. He is 20 years old, from Alberta. He played for the Calgary Hitmen in the WHL, and he is known as he's a big player. He is 207 pounds, 6'4", definitely on the bigger end for a defenseman. He's got a very heavy shot, very offensive minded, can throw some very big hits as well. The one flaw about his game that people do talk about quite often is his defensive abilities. He is known to be a little bit of a defensive liability, especially in big moments. He does allow a lot of chances in front of the net. However, he is still only 20 years old. He's got a lot of areas. Has a lot of time to grow in that area, and if he keeps up the trajectory he's already been on, he will be in a good spot. He did have some time with the Senators last year for 4 games played, only 2 points, a goal and an assist. Did score his first NHL goal in his first ever game with the Senators against the Detroit Red Wings. He did also make an appearance in the playoffs against the Carolina Hurricanes, where he did actually have a very good showing. He was put in Game 4 in the final game of that series, and he was really one of the few highlight points and positives that came out of that series. Just the composure that he had in that game. He did get a point as well. So obviously he has been getting his chances with the Senators already. After being he played for Belleville last year, if we want to take a look at those stats as well. And he had a very good year last year as well with the Belleville Senators. 40 points, 10 goals, 30 assists. One area of concern, like we said, is his defensive abilities. Minus 31 plus minus. Pretty high. In 54 games. Means he's on the ice for 31 more goals against than he is goals for. So obviously he is able to create those offensive chances. However, is on the ice for a lot of goals against. Had a very good year with the Calgary Hitmen in 2023-24, where he had 71 points, 30 goals, 41 assists. 30 goals for a defenseman is completely unheard of. And, this is some offensive ability that would be great for him to bring in this Ottawa Senators rotation. Again, like we've mentioned, they are a team that have struggled scoring in a lot of crucial moments. They have won a lot of games, 2-1 and 3-1. They play best when their defense is locked in, and they don't have to rely as much on their goal scoring, which does lack a little bit. But bringing a player like Yakamchuk into the system could maybe get some more offense going, starting on the defensive end. Making some nice passes out of the zone to the forwards could be an area that they could definitely look into to start the opening day roster. And he's definitely battling for a spot. If we take a look at the rotation here, obviously their top 4, I would say, is pretty locked up. And Tyler Kleven as well has proven that he can be a full-time NHL defenseman. It's really that last spot on the right side that will be the battle for him. He is a right shot defenseman, which is very valuable in the NHL, as that's always an area that many teams are looking for. The player that has been on that spot for past couple years has been Nicholas Matinpalo, and again, he has also proven that he's capable of filling into that role. He is obviously more of a defensive defenseman. He focuses more on his checking, his plays in their own zone. And obviously Yakamchuk is a completely different player, brings more speed, brings more offensive ability. So if Yakamchuk were to crack the roster, this is probably how it would look. And definitely does change some things, because obviously the first two defensive lines, you have your offensive players, Sanderson and Shabbat. Then you have more defensive guys alongside them with Zub and Spence. Spence is also more of an offensive guy, but his defensive game has been growing for sure. Swapping Matt and Paolo for Yakamchuk on that third pair completely changes what the whole defensive system will look like. Normally, third pair line defense or third defensive pair players, they focus more just on the defense. There's not a whole lot of offense coming from them. But if you add Yakamchuk on a third pair, then you have some offense that you can get from every single line on their defense, which is, something that's kind of unheard of in the NHL these days. And if I were to make my prediction now, I think Carter Yakemchuk will crack the opening day roster. Do I think he will start every game? No. I think him and Matt and Paolo will definitely flip-flop in that final right spot. Just because, Yakimchuk's still young. He's going to have games where it's not going to go his way, and he's probably going to be exposed a good amount, especially against some of these really, really heavy offensive teams in the NHL. He could get exposed a little bit. So I think just to protect him, you don't want him to be playing every single night. Have Matt and Paolo there. But obviously, the Senators have been known, especially last season, they had a lot of injuries on the defensive end. So I think as the season goes on, he's going to be playing a lot more minutes, a lot more crucial minutes. He could definitely get on that first power play. Obviously, if Sanderson's able to stay healthy, that would be Sanderson's spot. But Sanderson had some injury concerns last year, so fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But if it were to continue this season, maybe Yakamchuk gets an opportunity on the first power play, or even the second power play. I could definitely see on the second power play as well, because his offensive game would be amazing for the power play. We saw it last year a couple times. He was on the top power play, and they were able to make some very nice plays. He had a goal that was just after the power play against Detroit, which ended up being the first goal of his career. A nice shot right in the top corner. So yeah, that is what he is able to bring to the offense. Some explosive offensive ability, some nice passing, get a lot of assists, as we saw, over 70 points there with the Hitman in his last season, and 30 goals. Has a killer of a shot from the point. Definitely something the Sens can benefit from. What do you guys think? Do you think Yakamchuk has a chance of making the opening night roster with the team? And if so, where is his fit? Where exactly does he fit with this team? Please let me know in the comments. And also, again, let me know if there's any topics regarding the Senators you want me to cover over the next few weeks of the offseason before we head into training camp in just around a month's time. Again, please hit that subscribe button. It is completely free, and it allows you to stay updated with Senators Digest content. That is all I got for you today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.